Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Ashley's new alter has a plan to get Tucker out of her life, and Billy tries charming Lily onto his side. Today on The Young and the Restless, Maria urges Tessa to start performing again. Devin complains to Abby about Billy influencing Lily, and Billy continues trying to get Lily onto his side. Maria walks into society and finds Tessa glowing with career and personal satisfaction. Tessa is humming and says her life is beautiful. Her wife offers to make her even happier. She suggests they find a way to get her in front of an audience again. Tessa can't leave her and the baby behind, so her wife suggests local music festivals. Maria thinks they can get her a slot. As soon as she spots Abby and Devin, she calls out to them. She brags about how multi-talented Tessa is and suggests she deserves a showcase at a music festival. She knows Devin knows everyone in the business. He thinks she'd be perfect for a festival they are putting together. They all agree to that. Devin and Abby get a table. He gets a text from Nate thanking him for the vote of confidence. They thought that they would be celebrating him being back on the board. Devin did not see Lily voting against it coming. All the meetings at work just seem to be about fighting rather than logical business decisions. He's shocked his sister voted against the family. Abby says that's not what happened. Just because she voted against Nate doesn't mean she voted against him. This isn't forever, and his sister can be persuaded to see things his way. She urges him to think of this from his sister's point of view. Maybe she didn't want to vote with him to make him happy. Abby is proud of him for supporting his sister. He's sure there is more to his sister voting against Nate than it seems. He has a feeling that Billy has gotten under her skin. She doesn't see it, but he knows his sister is susceptible to Billy's pressure, and he's capable of practically anything. He admits that he's not loving working at Chancellor Winters lately. It's a lot of hassle. It was supposed to be about creating a legacy for the next generation, but that's all getting lost. He never banked on Billy intruding on things, and he hates being challenged on everything. Billy walks onto the patio of Crimson Lights. He spots Lily and approaches her. She makes it clear that she will not revisit his suggestion that they work together to run the company. He can take the hint. Besides, he's sure she will come around on her own. Noting his confidence, she admits that she had a disturbing conversation with Mamie today. Billy wonders if she's starting to recognize that her aunt could be trouble. She won't admit that, but she won't chop up the company she pulled together. Billy reminds her of his idea that they should take the reins. They go down to the jazz lounge and he makes some jokes. She teases him about all the validation he needs. Lily suggests he's trying too hard and guesses something is up. He admits that Ashley hasn't been the same since her breakup with Tucker. She hasn't been herself, and he's afraid for her. Billy's always been afraid of his big sister and wishes he could fix whatever Tucker broke inside of her. They both hate Tucker. Billy wishes his dad was around to deal with this. Looking at the photo of Neil on the wall, she says she knows how he feels. Billy knows he will never be John Abbott, but he's sure that Neil would be proud of her and is walking with her every step of the way. She's sure both of their fathers are there and they toast to that. As they drink, he tells her stories about his kids and reminds her how good she was at getting them to calm down with just a look. They chuckle and he tells her about how much he wants to stay on her good side. In their suite at the GCAC, Tucker and Audra are bickering about diverting capital and marketing spin for all their companies. She almost forgot how cold-blooded he can be in business. It feels like Lysaid will be able to surpass Jabot. They toast to it. He thought she wanted to avoid all the drama of rivalry. She did, but now thinks they can dominate the market. His reasons are more suspect. He insists that Ashley is not his motivation any longer, although he wouldn't mind crushing her sanctimonious brothers. Tucker tells her that her drive and ambition give him certain sensations. Climbing on top of her, they make out. After they have sex, he wants more, but she wants to talk about consolidating facilities. He loves it when she talks dirty. Audra needs food and thinks they need to get dressed for that so they don't get distracted. They agree to race down to the restaurant. In the dining room, Tracy admires Ashley's unusual dress and tells her she's glad she agreed to a bite to eat. When she suggests they order her usual, Ashley wants tequila. Tracy is shocked. The voice in Ashley's head tells her just order an iced tea, so she does. Her sister suggests that she leave her phone on because everyone gets worried about her when she can't be reached. She fills her in on Harrison being home from his ordeal. They didn't tell her about it earlier because they didn't want to add to her burden. Now they can concentrate on her. Ashley forces a smile and curses in her head. Tracy is sure that she was feeling daunted about speaking to a stranger when she ran off from therapy. Her sister says she just got skittish and came there to relax. Gasping, she suggests her sister relax too and order some shots. Tracy thinks she's spiraling out of control. If she has to hold her hand to get help, she will. But she can't back her up as she hides behind alcohol. Ashley says her tough love is just what she needs and offers to reschedule the appointment for tomorrow. As they head for the door, Tucker and Audra race down the stairs. Ashley immediately begins goading them, telling Audra that she could do a lot better than him. Audra thinks that's a new angle for her. If I were you, I would ditch this daddy issue for good, Ashley suggests, tittering. She insists on going to the powder room on her own. Tucker declares it seems like they have yet another new Ashley. It looks like she hasn't gotten any help. Tracy says this is a private family matter and not his concern. She begs him to let it go. After she walks off, Audra tells Tucker that this is no longer funny and there is something seriously wrong with his ex. She'll admit that she's freaked out by her mood swings and tells him to stay away from her. McCall agrees to let it go. Can she? They sit at a table, and she complains about always running into his ex. Pulling out the engagement ring, he suggests that one way to keep her away for good would be if she said yes. She's surprised he keeps that on him at all times. He wants to be ready. She urges him to dig deep and recognize that he doesn't want or need this marriage. He jokes that he just wants to introduce himself at parties as her husband. When he asks her what she imagined her wedding would be like when she was a kid, he tries to paint a picture of what it could be. She admits she wanted to arrive in a horse-drawn carriage and repeats they don't need anyone to approve of their relationship. He says they can get married in private. It's about them making a promise to each other. Audra reminds him it's a promise people break. Taking his hand, she agrees to remind him every day they are together of how much she loves him. He gets her to repeat that and sighs. Tracy brings Ashley back to the Abbott manse. As she goes off to make some tea, Ashley sits down and clutches at her hair as the voices in her head begin to argue. In her mind, Belle taunts her other alters. Mrs. Abbott explains she sent Ash away for her own good and hopes that letting Belle out to play hasn't been a mistake. Honey, I may be a lot of things but a mistake I certainly am not, says Belle. Mrs. Abbott declares that she is in charge because she is the only one who can get Ashley what she needs and that means eliminating Tucker. Belle thinks she's cuckoo crazy if she's suggesting homicide. Mrs. Abbott tells her to step back and let her do what needs to be done. Belle won't let her ruin Ashley's life. Even if she thinks Tucker is trouble, killing him is way beyond the pale. This only irritates Mrs. Abbott. Belle suggests that the answer is easy as pie. All they need to do is find someone else for Ashley to fall for, and that can't be hard at all. Mrs. Abbott thinks this is stupid, but Belle reminds her she's in control and she's not letting go. Tracy wakes her up. She knows she is nervous about seeing a new therapist and asks if she would be more comfortable with her friend in Paris. Belle recalls how smart and charming he is and thinks that he could be the perfect antidote to Tucker. Ashley tells her sister that it's a great idea. That's a relief to Tracy because she has already left him a message. Her sister says that's fantastic and hugs her. Read our candid review of this week on Young and Restless here and see if you agree with our assessment. Next on The Young and the Restless, Jack finds drunken Nikki in a suite she's trashed. Ashley accuses her doctor of having an agenda, and Victoria and Cole realize there is something in Claire's doll.